Hey everyone, welcome back to iHeart Sports. Today we're going to do the third episode of our MLB preseason breakdown. We're going to jump into the American League West. Make sure you check out the other two episodes we have so far doing the East and the Central of the American League. Sorry, this is going to be must be my fifth take of this opening scene. I've been having some issues with my video recording. Hoping to make some improvements on my last episodes with quality and stuff like that. So let me know what you guys think. Got a new program because I was having issues with my last one. And yeah, this is where we're at. I really think the American League West is going to be one of the most exciting divisions this year. It's going to be a tight race, 1 through 4. It's really hard to predict this one. No surprise, I'm going to have Houston up top, World Series champions. But from 2 through 4, really it could go anyway. A lot of movement on a couple teams. But yeah, this is just predictions. It's really tough to know how teams are going to do with injuries and things like that this early in the season. But here we go. Bottom of the division, Oakland Athletics. No real surprise here. They didn't do much of anything in the offseason. The only real notable pickup was Jonathan Lucroy. They used to have Stephen Vogt at the back catcher, but Lucroy really isn't too much of a difference. Both lefties. Athletics have Kendall Graveman at the top of their starting pitching, so really we're not going to see much here. Sean Manaea comes in number 2. He had a decent year last year, but in this division, those two pitchers aren't going to cut it. They're going to be at the bottom. It's no real surprise. If they get out of the bottom, we got to give it to Moneyball. Like, Moneyball will get them there, but does Moneyball even exist anymore? I really don't think so. Things have changed. Moneyball was years and years and years ago. So, Oakland, bottom. Moving on to 4th place here in the American League West, I have slotted in the Texas Rangers. The Rangers and the Mariners can really flip-flop. It's going to be really close between the two of them. Rangers, they struggled a lot last year coming down from their previous 2 seasons. Their pitching, they lost Darvish, so that to me is a huge blow. They did not fill it over the offseason. Let's see. Cole Hamels tops the charts for them. He hasn't really been the pitcher I think they've expected him to be. Just hasn't been pulling it together. He's given up quite a few runs, and his ERA has really skyrocketed. Texas can be tough, definitely during the middle of the summer when the heat starts to rise. Balls like to fly out of that ballpark. So we'll see if he can turn it around this year. They picked up another lefty in Matt Moore. He's really at the end of his ropes. He's getting really old. He struggled a lot in San Fran. Had a couple good games, but for the most part, had a lot of bad games. So with him coming into the 2nd spot in their lineup, I think they're in for a rough year. Have them slotted in 4th. They could make a push, like who knows. They do have some young guys up and coming in their batting order from Mazzara, but he can be really hot and cold. They got Sin-Soo Choo still. Adrian Beltre is coming onto age as well, so I don't really expect him to go back to his glory days. If anything, he's going to start to decline. That's why I really have them in 4th. I have them not much better than last year, if at all. They're probably going to start declining. So with the most exciting thing coming from them, for me, it's going to be Matt Bush. Matt Bush, he had some issues off the field for a while, but he's really starting to show some of his good traits on the field. He gets his Ks, he has some heat behind his pitches, and they're really slotting him in to be the 5th starter this year. I'm excited to see that from seeing him against the Blue Jays. I know this guy has talent, so that's what, for me, the bright spot on the Texas Rangers this year. Moving on to 3rd in the American League West, I've got the Seattle Mariners. Now, Seattle Mariners, I love this team a little bit. It's a little bit biased, but they've made some good moves. They picked up D. Gordon. He's going to be great at the top of this lineup, I think. He's got some good on-base percentage. it's gone up a lot last year. He's got a stolen bases. They added Gene Segura, who's going to be second likely in this lineup, so they've added some speed at the top of this lineup. Segura had a really rough second half of the season last year. His batting average was way down, but I'm really hoping that he can turn it around and prove to be a great addition to this team. Cano, Cruz, two well-known players in the league. This is what gives them the edge over the Rangers, in my opinion. Felix Hernandez. Oh, I think he's hurt right now. Again, he's had issues year after year after year, so it's going to be tough for them if they can't get him to pitch the way he can for them. James Paxton, he had a great year last year. Again, he had some injury issues on and off last year and the year before, so if their starting rotation doesn't do what it needs to do, then they're going to be secured in here and potentially lose out to the Rangers and drop down to fourth. This hat, definitely my favorite hat that I have right now. I just want to show you guys this cool reflector thing in the back that you can see the Seattle Mariners. It's definitely one of my favorites. That's why I got it on for this video, so I wanted to show you guys that. Got it down because we can go down to Safeco Field from where I live, Vancouver, so it's the closest ballpark. So we travel down there once or twice a year, catch a game. Definitely catch the Blue Jays and another road team if we can. So hoping to do that this year. But yeah, that's the Mariners. Not much to them. They got some off-season acquisitions that I really liked. Whether they will live up to expectations for me, maybe I overhype them, but every year it looks like they're going to be better and they just stay where they were. So that's what a lot of people are thinking. I'm on the positive side. I really think they can push through this year. They have a potential to fight up there. But again, this is going to be a real tough division. It's going to be a really tight race. But Seattle, I think, is going to be right in the thick of it if their starters can stay healthy. Moving on to second. Los Angeles Angels. Wow. They made a splash. They made a lot of moves in the offseason. A lot of big moves, in my opinion. They're really trying to go for it this year. With Mike Trout, they want to show him that we're going to build a team around you. We're going to go. We're going to go. We want that World Series, Mike Trout. We want you here for it. Let's do it. So, the big name in the offseason, Shohei Ohtani. I hope that's how you pronounce it. Probably got it wrong, but who knows. He's the pitcher over from Japan. Pitcher, hitter, the next Babe Ruth from Japan, they're calling him, whatever. Who really knows? When they come from Japan, it's hard to say, but he was really the big name in the free agents. He was the go-after, and they got him. They also picked up Zach Cozart. I really like him. I thought he had an amazing year last year for the Reds. He was platooned a bit near the end, so it is what it is. But I really liked him. I think that's a really big signing for them. Under the radar signing, but I like it. They picked up Ian Kinsler. Again, another under the radar signing. Like these guys, they killed it in the offseason, in my opinion. They got Justin Upton as well. They really just bolstered everywhere on their lineup. Upgrades everywhere. If you look at their departures, you go down the list and you're like, meh, meh, meh. So I like it. I like what the Angels did. They're going to compete for the top of this division. I didn't put them there. I wanted to, but I just couldn't. It's hard to dethrone the Astros World Series champs. How do you dethrone them? You got to expect them to keep going. So Angels, second. That's where I got them. I definitely got them going in the wild card. And yeah, who knows? They might make a run out of this year. Their pitching staff really isn't that bad. They got Shoemaker, Garrett. They got Ohtani. We're not really sure how he'll do, but once he adjusts, I'm sure he'll be fine. Tyler Skaggs is at the bottom of their lineup, but I've always been a pretty big fan of this guy. He has some good stuff. He's coming into like his 4th or 5th year now, so this is his chance to really show off. And being at the bottom of this rotation, there's not a lot of pressure on him to perform, so I expect a good year out of him. All right, moving on to the top of the lineup. we already talked about it a couple times in this video. We got the Houston Astros, the champions. Take a bow, take a bow. Yep, that's you guys. Yeah, you guys are expected to be at the top of this division again. No real surprise. They are pretty much the same team that won the World Series last year. Altuve, Springer, Carrera, all All-Stars, all back in the lineup. They got Reddick, they got Gurriel, who is their young gun, but he's going to be something in the future. They picked up a lot of players while they were struggling over the many years before this. So their prospect pool is definitely very full. And they're just starting to come to fruition now. They're going to be a possible dynasty for the next 4 years. They're going to be competing each and every year. That's why the Angels have such a tough road ahead of them, because they have to go through the Astros. The Astros have Verlander at the top of their rotation. Verlander, he's not falling off significantly. He's definitely not in his prime anymore, but you can really expect him to continue to throw the ball. He'll get his outs, he'll get his innings pitched, so unless there's a significant injury, he'll be around. Dallas Keuchel, Lance McCullers, Brad Peacock, Charlie Morton, like all good pitchers. They all had good years. They all get the Ks. McCullers really is the only question mark for me. He's definitely solid, but he has had shoulder issues in the past. So, in long season, I expect him to miss some games, but I do expect the Houston Astros to be back in it, competing atop the American League. They might even be my prediction to repeat. I'm not sure yet. I'll come out with a video for that, but look for them to be solid at the top, well above 600, and well into a playoff spot. Wild card at worst, only if the Angels can overtake them. So yeah, thanks for watching my American League West previews. If you haven't checked out the other ones yet, make sure you do that. There's a link in the description. Just to go down what we went over, we got Oakland A's, bottom of the division, Texas Rangers in 4th, Seattle Mariners coming up in 3rd, Anaheim Angels in 2nd, and you got Houston Astros on top of this division in my eyes. Make sure, if you like this video, to give it a like and give me a subscribe. That'd be great. Thanks everyone. We'll see you again soon. Cheers.